Hi, I'm Renee, and welcome to Classical Commentary, talking all matters music and about the music that matters. Winner of the prestigious Sarah Vaughan International Jazz Vocal Competition Award, classically trained New Orleans-based vocalist Quiana Lynell has made her salient mark on the jazz and beyond musical world. She is recognized as a wise, heartfelt, warm vocalist whose voice is singular in its soul, intensity, and ecstasy. Quiana Lynell's recent performance at the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival led to an Eastern European performance in Poland with trumpeter Terence Blanchard that included a 75-piece orchestra tribute to Spike Lee. You're watching Classical Commentary, and today we are speaking with American jazz vocalist extraordinaire Quiana Lynell. Quiana, welcome to Classical Commentary, and welcome to Toronto. I understand it's your first time here.
It is. I'm happy to be here.
Very good, very good.
I heard it was really cold yesterday.
That's right. I was just about to ask. I hope our winters aren't too hard to take coming from southern USA.
Well, I've been in Michigan for the last week, so I've been in the teens.
You've adjusted?
All week. Yeah, I've adjusted.
Wonderful. So, you're Texas born and raised.
Yes.
But you've been living in Louisiana for the past 20 years or so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Over half of my life. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So what impact has living, basically you're close to New Orleans, the birthplace of jazz, where greats like Louis Armstrong and Wynton Marsalis and Mahalia Jackson nurtured. What impact has living there had on you in your musical development?
I say all the time that I found my voice.
Okay.
Like I found my soul in Louisiana. I studied voice at LSU, and ever since then, the submergence of the culture, in Louisiana, there's food, music, and people.
That's right.
Everything that we do is going to include some food and some music. And it could be many different kinds, between the Zydeco in the western part of the state, and then all the way to New Orleans, where you have every possible kind of music imaginable in America, was birthed right there.
Right.
So I've just found my soul in Louisiana.
Yeah, what a fabulous place to be as a jazz singer.
Definitely.
So you possess the wonderful gift of vocal diversity. Your style is a fusion of jazz, soul, blues, funk, gospel.
Yes.
That's really impressive.
Yes.
However, your musical origins tend to lie in the classical realm. So how did that beginning in classical music, how did it form a good base to lead up to everything that has come afterwards?
So as a musician, I've always wanted to be able to use my voice like as an instrument. And when you look at an instrument, the instrument knows no bounds. Like you could play a upright bass in any type of musical format. You could play a saxophone in any type of musical format. So I wanted to be able to take my voice and be able to be in any type of format. And so starting in that classical world, classical musicians train and focus on technique and being able to perform, fast, slow, really focusing on tone. So that's where that classical world really has set me up to be able to take on any type of music. And then, my own personal story and my journey of life and my experiences allow me to put an extra piece of pizzazz on top of it. But starting in that classical world really laid a foundation of solid technique.
Quiana, you've been compared to jazz legends such as Sarah Vaughan, Nina Simone, Ray Charles. That's pretty impressive. How do you feel about being compared to such greats in the jazz world?
Just hearing those names is just like heavy, I only set out to be the best version of myself. I'm definitely standing on the shoulders of all those people that you named. Because of them I can. But comparatively, it makes me feel not worthy. Like I haven't done enough yet. I'm not where I want to be. It's like, how do I but still proud.
Sure, of course.
I'm gonna take it. I'm a grateful. Like when somebody gives me a compliment, I'm grateful. I'm gracious. However, I don't let it go to my head.
Right.
I know I'm still just trying to be the best version of myself that I can be.
I think that's the best thing that you can be, right?
That keeps me going forward. If you start listening to those reviews and comparisons, it could stifle your growth and leave you complacent. So I try to just keep attaining the goals that I have for myself.
Just stay focused.
And maybe follow in those footsteps of those people, but I don't know, comparing is like, there's no comparison to those. There's no comparison.
Speaking of Sarah Vaughan, you were a winner of the prestigious Sarah Vaughan International Jazz Competition. Yeah. Tell me about that. Tell me about that experience.
The last 3-4 years have just been a testimony of when you're doing what you're supposed to do, things, they happen. When you really dig into who you are and what you want to do and the vision that you see for yourself, they just start happening. When they called me and said I was a contestant, that I had made it through the entrance, and I saw the people I was competing against, I'm still very new in jazz. I didn't study jazz in school. I didn't spend years of training. I haven't, been under the tutelage of many people for very long. So when I saw the list of contestants and they had went to Berkeley and studied jazz and had 3 or 4 records out and were multi-instrumentalists, it was very heavy for me, and I was nervous. And the best advice that I got from Terrence Blanchard, he said, you just gotta go do what you do. You can't focus on what they do. You can't focus on what you can't do. All you can focus on is what you have mastery over right now. So that's what I did, and I went and I had a good time.
It worked.
Right. It worked. I just was focused on sharing a new experience with a new audience of people. It was my first solo gig on the East Coast, close to New York. Newark is like New York, and I was just excited to be in that number, to be named and have that platform,
Fantastic, and congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And you recently had a Carnegie Hall debut. What was that like?
Now that changed my life. You always hear the saying, especially as a classical musician, what's the road to Carnegie Hall?
How do you get to Carnegie Hall?
Practice, right? So then you get there and you're like, am I really at Carnegie? How did I get here? And you forget. You got here because you did the work, And in my dressing room, there was a quote from Frank Sinatra, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was basically saying, you've earned the right to be here, the privilege, you've earned it. Don't forget that you did do something. You have done things for a long time to get here. Nobody just gets here from accident, so own that and enjoy it. And I enjoyed it. I mean, with John Batiste and Terriana Ball, Tank and the Bangas, and Terrence, and the phenomenal choir that we had with us, and then Joshua Campbell.
What did you perform?
I sang a song. So the show was about the diaspora, and it's a series that Angelique Kidjo produces, and Terrence Blanchard was in charge of that show. And so I did Freedom Song, which is a Bob Marley song. I also did a song by Joshua Campbell, a duet with him, and then I did a blues with John Batiste and Terrence Blanchard as well. So
very nice.
We did The Thrill Is Gone.
So
it was a phenomenal evening. I was able to use, all those different sides of my voice, and the audience, the acoustics in there.
I was just about to say, perfect acoustics.
Phenomenal. The sound
perfect
team,
stage.
the stage, everything was breathtaking.
It was just,
it was breathtaking.
Amazing. Fantastic. I'm glad that you had a good experience.
Thank you. I look forward to the next time, definitely.
So you've had the opportunity to collaborate with some interesting artists, Patti Austin, you named Terrence Blanchard, Aaron Neville, Herbie Hancock.
Yes.
What was that like?
Every time I'm on the stage with people that I've grown up listening to, or I have learned their solos or listened to their records all the time, it just, I can't get used to that feeling.
It's a bit surreal, maybe.
It's very surreal, definitely. Sometimes I get caught up on like, oh my gosh. And then I have to remember, they're people just like me. They practice just like me, and what I love mostly about being a jazz artist and this community of improvisational music is that most everybody is willing to share and help you grow and continue the tradition. It's a tradition that is not taken lightly. So most of the artists that I meet are always trying to help each other out. It's a community of sisterhood of all the vocalists, the instrumentalists. Where everybody's just a family.
And that's beautiful. That's really how music should be.
Definitely. It's not a competitive. It's not like this. You're going to take my gig. It's always about how are we going to make this show the best.
And that's the way it should be.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
So the state of Louisiana has been through a lot in the past 15 years. In 2005, there was Hurricane Katrina. In 2016, there was another major flood. And many local and international artists, musical artists, they came to help. They came to try to provide relief effort through benefit concerts and through outreach. Were you involved in any of those?
I hadn't actually made the conscious decision to become an artist as of yet. I was really focused on being a mom. I had many people in my house though. A lot of my family, in-laws, lost everything in Katrina. So I think at one time I had about 30 people in my house.
Oh my goodness, wow.
But then in the flood of 2016 that affected Baton Rouge, I was a part of a benefit concert that we did. That's where I got to perform with Aaron Neville and Harry Connick Jr. also was on that show.
Yes, I remember he was down there.
Right, and then also there was a song that I dedicated to the city. That's how I got on the show. I wrote a song about Baton Rouge, being that I live in the middle of Baton Rouge and New Orleans, but Baton Rouge is really my home. That's where I went to college, and to see so many of my friends, people I had performed with, that's where I cut my teeth, in all the venues across the city. So many people had lost equipment, lost guitars, lost their horns, and so I released the song Baton Rouge and dedicated the proceeds to the Arts Council of Baton Rouge, who was providing musician relief for artists who had lost items in the storm. So yeah, that was a phenomenal thing to be a part of. And I also did a song entitled Fight the Flood with a collaborative group of artists there in the city, and those proceeds also went to benefit flood relief.
That's great. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, music has always been a healer and a way to bring people together and help people get through times of difficulty. So it's always important for me to be involved in a way that I can give back to my community.
Tell me about Made in America, musically speaking. You designed an educational program that you presented some music clinics and in other places.
Yes, it's funny, I get this question all the time. I don't get to do this clinic as much as I would like to. So I think maybe I should start marketing it more.
Maybe.
Right, but I do go through, American music is diverse.
Sure, for sure.
Lyrics and songwriting has always been a way that I was able to cope and release and get through issues or problems that I had. So I go work with kids and we digest songs, digest lyrics, talk about what the author could have been feeling, what situation we think may have spurred that song, and then go through writing a song ourselves, and also how to attach emotion to lyrics. As a song stylist and as a person in the jazz idiom, a lot of times I'm covering songs that I didn't necessarily write. So it's hard for some people to be able to attach and
to
connect to songs that they didn't pen themselves. So that's a skill that I also work with.
Tell me about the acronym SWING, S-W-I-N-G.
Yes. So I was able to do a TED Talk through my university, through LSU as an alumni, and SWING is surrounding yourself with individuals navigating greatness.
Wow.
Right. A lot of times we try to do everything, and I mean, that's where it started for me, was I can't do everything. There are people out here who can do a lot of the things that I'm trying to do myself in less time. You know, so when I can afford to pay somebody to do something, well, let me go ahead and give them those coins so that I don't have to stress myself out, you know, trying to build a website. But it also stretches toward when you try to figure out, when you figure out where you want to go and what your goals are, you have to start changing your circle and putting yourself around people who are also on that path or who have been down that path, so that they can help direct you, can help keep you from bumping your head, you know, can steer you in ways. They have knowledge and wisdom that they will pass on to you. So surrounding yourself with people who are already navigating that greatness will keep you going in the right direction.
Excellent. I really like that. I'm going to remember that.
Yeah.
Swing.
Yeah. You got to swing, baby.
You're a mother of two. Are your children musically inclined at all?
So I do force the music on my children somewhat. When they're in middle school, they have to be in the band. But before that, I would also make my children, we would have days, and I would call it opera day, where we would not speak. And they would have to sing everything they wanted.
Oh, wow. Opera day.
There'd be little recitatives going
Yes.
on, arias busting out in places, and they would be like, "Mom," and I'm like, "I don't hear you
That's
right
so
now."
that's so creative. Oh my goodness. I love it.
But so my oldest does play the bass and ukulele, is also a songwriter, and my baby girl is on the percussion team in the band. She always wanted to play drums but doesn't practice quite enough. So maybe after middle school she'll pick the drum set back up. Who knows? I always make a joke with them, and I'm like, if y'all want to go with me on the road, you gotta play an instrument.
That's
You
true.
gotta go to work. You
That's
can't
true.
just come and be a bystander. You gotta go to work.
Well, they couldn't have a better role model. So you're making your Toronto debut with an album tour called A Little Love. Great title. Can you tell me a little bit about what audiences have in store for them and what they can look forward to, what they will experience?
So my shows are a journey. I enjoy talking about all the different sides of love, the beginning, the middle, the end, you know, how to keep it going, when to know it's not the right one. I've learned a lot in my years on this earth. I watch people, study people, you know, as an artist. I feel like I absorb lots of information from people around me, and then I try to share it. So the Little Love Tour, it gives you light and love, and the goal is to inspire everyone to love a little bit more when they leave. We do also talk about social issues. It's 3 parts of love that I address. I address self-love, romantic love, of course, and then love for our community. So I'm very passionate about people helping each other out, being kinder, loving, like just as I said, loving in all aspects of your life, loving yourself a little bit more, loving your partner in a way that they enjoy, and then loving your community and your neighbors.
I think people need to hear that. So
Totally. Everybody needs to be reminded that somebody out there is struggling, and you walk past them every day. You know, somebody that you work with maybe going through something that they're not sharing, and a kind word, a smile, a question, you know, an invitation to lunch, to sit at a table, those things go
a long way, for
right?
sure.
Especially now, there's so many people who are, you know, the closer we are, it's like technology allows us to be so close, yet we're all
and yet
isolated.
so far away.
Right, yet so far away. So there's lots of issues that are coming up because people feel disconnected. And if we just embrace that sense of community again and care about each other in a way that I feel like we used to before technology was around as easily as easily accessible, then some of the people who act out because they feel ostracized won't do that as often.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's enjoyable as well as educational.
Yes, totally.
Okay.
And you got to do something. You know, there's a call to action.
Right, of course.
A call to action to be a better person.
A better
in
human.
general.
Yeah. That's phenomenal. And this is a multi-city tour. So as you were saying, you were in Detroit.
I was in Michigan. I did some teaching. I was in Spain last week.
And then you're
did
headed
some
back to Europe
this week.
to Germany.
Going to Sweden first. Switzerland. Bern, Switzerland. We're doing a residency there for a week, and then we go to Amsterdam, Munich, and birth language.
Lovely.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah.
Do you speak German?
No German.
Okay.
Yet. That's the only word I know. And I can say I love you. But I do speak some Spanish. Spanish is like my go-to language. I know it doesn't help in any of the countries I just named, but that's my
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, well, in Germany, most people speak English anyway,
yeah,
so
I'm hoping.
Yeah,
you
so
know,
yeah, you'll be fine.
we have a good handle there. I think we'll be okay.
Yeah. Oh well, I'm sure your audiences are also looking forward to a little love. The world definitely could use a little more love. Yeah, so I think that it's a great thing that you're programming and presenting to audiences.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Quiana, for making some time for today's interview.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for watching this edition of Classical Commentary. We'll see you next time, and remember, great music makes a great day. See you.